Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you all so much for being here. And Auntie Jane, thank you so much for being the first to log in and find your way to the chat on Royal Sussex Sunday. Um, anyway, let's see. Olivia Harris is here. Celia E. Nelson. Naomi Maria, Mama Jane, Joyce Anderson, Edna Terrain, Miranda Rios, Annie Bullard wants to say hi to a few people, and then a few more people. And Patricia Smith is here. Patricia says, hello, everyone. And of course, Susie Mom, Diamond Blue 24, Joan Garcia says hi, Marcia Ware, Andrea Allen, Brenda Gray. I'm going to just do a scroll all the way down. Let me see. What's that? 103rd birthday? She passed in January of 2012 at age 91. Well, that is a beautiful thing to remember. Remembering those birthdays. I have a relative that would have been 100. They were born in 1922. So last year, I realized, I'm like, oh my goodness, 100 years old. Wow. It's so amazing to know that you actually have been able to have conversations with someone born 100 years ago. I love that. And if you are taking that for granted, please have those conversations because there's a certain sensibility and awareness that you're missing out on if you don't. So have those conversations. Elaine Parker, hello. Elaine, I am so sorry to keep you up so late like this. And unfortunately, my pattern of Royal Sussex, I am missing Connie Palmer. Connie Palmer hasn't been here for a minute, so that's my fault. I got to try to get on earlier, but it's been a very, very busy week for me. And, well, mornings have been hell. Okay, so anyway, that's enough of all that Who Shot John. Let's get on with it then, which, that is one of my favorite phrases. Who shot John? I say it all the time, and I guess I should share the origins of it, shouldn't I? I'll do that. Who shot John? Okay, who shot John? I've shared this before, but I'm going to do it again. Now that's enough of all that who shot John. So it is I guess it's a relative modern term, and I believe it came along about the time when movies were a bit melodramatic. Does that sound accurate to you guys? Yeah. And so, anyway, Who Shot John is basically rather than go through this whole long dialogue and all that kind of stuff, just get to the point. Get cut to the chase, as they say, which is another kind of movie term. Instead of all of the falling in love and the drama, you want to get to that part of the movie where there's a chase scene and stuff is exploding. And that's the fun part of the movie. So why go through all that other stuff when everybody just wants to see something blow up, right? That is some action. So I believe that Who Shot John basically means that same thing. It is it means get to the point, right? Right. Okay. So that is our phrase of the day. Who shot John? That means don't take the long way around. Aight? Aight. Let me see who else is here. Daniel Musala is here. Carolyn Soares. Joy Moore is here. Mimi M. And was Vanzola Adams. I love that name, Vanzola. No, you're right on time. I'm literally sitting here. Um, what do you call it? Going on and on and on about a phrase that means don't go on and on and on. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So you might as well suffer through one of my lengthy explanations, just like everybody else is doing right now. Um, I'm just going on and on and on about nothing in particular. So you're right on time. You're just in time for nothing in particular. I'm sure you're relieved by that or upset by it. Oh, anyway, happy Sunday to everyone. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Um, I'm thinking about investing in a new microphone. What do you guys think? I was thinking about getting something a little more upscale and quality. This one I think sounds kind of pitchy. And the thing is, I noticed that a new YouTuber has purchased himself a nice microphone. And I'm just like, I really should have something that this sounds better. You know what I mean? The squad deserves that. So I'm thinking about it. I'm not completely sold on it just yet, but maybe, just maybe. Um, I don't know. It sounds a bit pitchy and screechy to me. Okay, so anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? Uh-oh, there we go. I'm multitasking if you haven't guessed by now. I am multitasking. Give me just a second, you guys. April 24th. Aha, that's what I'm looking for. There we go. Okay. Oh, no wonder I couldn't find it. I spelled it wrong. Okay. That is so like me. All right. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. So let me try that one more time. Be right with you. Welcome. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. If you just joined us, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Royal Sussex. And okay, that ain't working out like I wanted it to, but one more second, you guys. Uh-huh. And that seems to be the problem. Okay. All right. All right. Sorry, you guys. Just having a little technical difficulty here. And all right, sorted out. It is all sorted. Thank you so much. And all right, 660 of you. Okay. Let me scroll through, scroll through. Hello, Nubian Queen. You're leaving already? Okay, so one of the squatties was good enough to share this with us. You know, over the past month, I would say, has it been about a month? I mean, it's ongoing, but it seems like, oh, by the way, thank you so much, Elaine Parker, for the super sticker. But over the past month, it seems like there has been this effort to try and undo the successes of the Sussexes. And as usual, Meghan gets the short end of the stick. Meghan usually gets the worst of it, even if it's something that is of Harry, by Harry, and for Harry. Somehow they try to figure out a way to blame Meghan for it. One of the more recent things that they've said is that the Sussexes have decided to not do a double act anymore, which I take issue with that because I don't know that the Sussexes have ever branded themselves as a double act. One of the things that you guys have heard me say over and over again. And I'm going to say it in regards to this thing about the Sussexes are giving up their double act. How many times have you guys heard me say, what is amazing about the Sussexes is that whether it's just Harry out doing work or whether it's the Duchess of Sussex, it seems as though there is nearly identical levels of interest. Now, I've said that before, like when the Duchess went to, oh my goodness, what city was that? She went to that thing. Uh, it was just um, after Archetypes ended for the season, that first season of Archetypes. Anyway, she went to an event and it was at a hotel in a ballroom. We didn't get any video. There were very few photos from that event, and the local media could not stop talking about it. It had nothing to do with Harry. Same with Archetypes. It's not a double act. That's Meghan's deal. And the idea that the tabloids are trying to define them as this double act or that they are giving up on doing things together, they made the same complaint about Harry's book. When Harry did that non book tour, it was not a book tour. Harry promoted his book. A traditional book tour means you go to bookstores or you go to conferences and stuff like that. You go to things, places, you travel a lot, you do all of the talk shows. On one hand, I could tell you how Harry promoted his book 60 Minutes, Good Morning America, Tom Bradby, whatever he was doing, and of course, the Stephen Colbert. And he had one column that was written by a friendly reporter in the Telegraph. That is five fingers I'm using to tell you the extent of Harry's book tour. And in only one instance do we know that Harry actually traveled. We know for sure, we can confirm that Harry traveled to promote his book. And that was when he went to New York for Stephen Colbert. So if that is a book tour in a traditional sense, which it is not, and what did the tabloids say? Oh, Meghan has distanced herself from the book. Meghan doesn't want her brand associated with Spare, as though there was something negative about Spare. Spare has, do you guys know that Spare is still in the top 10 of the bestsellers list? Do you guys know that Spare is still one of the best selling nonfiction books in the marketplace today? So they tried to make it sound as though Meghan was distancing herself from Harry and that dreaded book, Spare. So thank you to these squatties that put these collages together. And wait, there's more. There's this one. I think I may have shared this before, but there you go. Both of them, New York Times best-selling authors. And we haven't seen the last of the success of Spare. I can assure you that. There is going to be a chance to have that book recognized even more. And look at how many agencies, look at how many places where there is some background in psychology or counseling that has branded that book as a very useful tool for anyone who is suffering from PTSD, anyone who has had trouble with their siblings or their family. If you have struggled with certain issues, how many times have I posted something from Twitter where someone is recommending Spare? How many times? It has been numerous times. So the book is highly successful. The Sussexes have made an incredible success of their post royal family duties, especially when you consider that we were in the throes of a global pandemic which derailed many economies across the globe, including here in the United States. And since the global pandemic, the United States has made a roaring comeback, followed by Canada. I found out Canada's economy is something to behold right now because they have 20 million people out of 40 million people. There's 20 million working people in Canada. Justin Trudeau has shown this is how you embrace immigration. And those immigrants, as I have been saying for the longest, those immigrants, they don't hurt the economy, they help the economy. And Canada's doing very well. And some of the places that Brexit, Brexit places that have Brexit, excuse me, my allergies, places where they have been pushing against immigration, well, we see what's happening with Brexit with those economies. Whew, my allergies. Um, so, yeah. And let me go to one more of these. Take a look at that. Oh, look at that. There's success written all over the page. Archetypes was incredibly successful, and no matter what they say, they are not going to take that success away from the Duchess of Sussex. It was hard work, it was very well produced, and in spite of everything that has been said, is a feather in her cap, in her fedora. And of course, because Spotify has gone through a change of management, it's unfortunate that the platform that made the archetypes possible is too bad. The platform where it originated has decided to go to the dark side, but these things happen. I mean, there have been classic sitcoms that have moved from one network to the other. If you guys remember Taxi, the television show Taxi, they were originally on ABC, and I think they went to NBC because there was a an audience, and there is still an audience for archetypes. And just like Spare, archetypes is a very useful tool, especially for young women who may be subject to some of those labels that society tries to use to define a woman's character. Archetypes is an amazing tool to teach, to inform. And so there's no way that that's over. So there you go. And then I think this is the last of these slides. Yeah, so take a look at that one. You can see again, the Sussexes have been busy. And let us not forget the Harry and Meghan docuseries and how that had premiered and gone straight to number one. And not just in the US, but in the UK, Germany, Australia, Canada, South Africa, the Netherlands, Sweden, Portugal, Norway, Switzerland, Israel, Ireland, and more. No wonder the royal family is in such a tailspin trying to figure out how are we going to mitigate all of this positive press that the Sussexes are getting. Well, they've been trying hard using their tabloid media. They have been trying hard, but it's just not going to work. That dog just isn't going to hunt. Hey, Big Mama. Let's see. Marianne Morris. Hello. Maureen Young. And good morning to some of you guys that are just starting your day. Brenda Lawler, thank you for being here. Thea, let's see. Louise Narcissus, thank you so much for being here. And let's see. Islander Jen, hello. Thank you. All right, let me continue. Anyway, I feel like I'm preaching to the audience, but we need these reminders that the Sussexes are doing incredibly well, because the tabloid media, they are trying to disparage and discourage the Sussex squad, but that doesn't work. Now, take a look here. Something less combative to talk about, because this is just a fact. We don't have to fight this fight. It is clear. When it comes to being a Disney like fairy tale relationship, oh, and by the way, I did put in the title, Harry and Meghan sighting. I'm not going to share those photos. So if you guys have anything to say about those photos, talk amongst yourselves. I saw them. They're from that certain pap place, and I love seeing the Sussexes out and in love. But full disclosure, I'm not going to share those particular photos. It's, you know what I'm saying. It's invasive, but I am going to be very honest with you guys. I I was glad to see them. Okay, even though I don't share them, I would be a liar if I was saying, "Oh, I hate that I saw those." Oh my goodness, that's just the worst thing ever. I don't like where they come from. Yes, they were in the public space and everything, but you know that the person who took that photo or photos were stalking them like prey, and that is not cool. Lex says, I guess they figure using misinformation that we won't remember the three awards Megan received, has received, and the success of Spare and the docuseries. Exactly, Legs. Exactly. And that is why I say these slides right here, and this is not everything, is not everything, but is most of the foundation of what they've done since they left Narnia. I mean, some of these things, like Invictus Games, that was from 2014 for Harry, I believe. And but I mean, come on, World Central Kitchen, Santa Ballet, that's Harry's thing. Elephants Without Borders, and of course, you know, Megan had her UN, and of course, us being a special. Oh, and USO. Megan actually served in the USO. So. And not to mention the other charities and even the soup kitchen that she worked in while she was a full time working actress. So, and yet the tabloids are trying to rewrite history. Thank you so much for the super sticker legs, super chat. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Yeah, if you don't say anything, then you're giving them consent. And when I say them, I do mean the tabloids. You're giving them consent to just keep lying because nobody is going to call them out on it. But that's not true. We will always call them out on it. Let's see. Uh, Anastasia, I know you do battle, and I love that. I love that. Some of you guys, I told you, I'll look through the social media and I look at the comments and I see some familiar names. And that's always really cool. Okay. Hey, Joanne Baker. All right. So, anyway, as I was saying, you have this fairy tale, and it's amazing how identical the scenes are. I mean, scene for scene. When Disney made those images so many years ago, who could have known that if you fast forward to 2018, May of 2018, that those images would actually play out right there in HD quality television for the whole world to see. This is the real deal. So, very, very cool. Uh-oh. Hold on a second, you guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Someone was looking for the wrong place. So anyway, I hate when that happens. And so I'm here now. Now, check it out. That is the cast and crew. Well, not the crew, just the cast. That is the cast from Suits. And this is a photo of them at the wedding. I don't think I've ever seen it before. So that's why I'm sharing it with you now. I have never seen it before. So, well, there you go. That is the cast of Suits. I wish I knew them all by name, but I don't. Just Patrick. But yeah, that's the Suits people. So yes, they were at the wedding, and I knew they were there, but I don't think I've ever seen like the photo of all of them together. What is that? Church Nelly says James O'Brien said that Harry and Meghan are the better fairy tale. That's why there's so much negativity toward them. And you agree. Absolutely. They are the better fairy tale. It's the real deal. They are the real deal. Let me see. Today, I'm sorry, totally a Disney movie. Pierce Morgan had a what is that combo of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame. The tabloids want to dismiss Meghan like so many tried to dismiss Mulan. Well, there you go. It really is art imitating life, isn't it? That is definitely art imitating life. Okay. Oh, congratulations, season 3. You are just eating them up one after the other, one episode after the other. That is very cool. And I'm glad for that because the more people that are watching the Suits, the more we can push it toward that number one spot. I don't think they're at number one just yet, but it's number 2. But yeah, for something that's been out for so long, that is pretty impressive. Okay, and then there's this. All right, I got a soundbite for you guys. I do have a soundbite. Okay, let me find it. So, Elton John paid a nice compliment to. Oh wait, there we go.
Look at her face in every photograph. There's a positive, wonderful glow. Also, she had this incredible ability, which he kind of inherited, and I told him that. And he said, "Thanks very much." To make people feel at ease and make them feel that everything's going to be all right. I haven't experienced many people in my life who have that ability, but she could walk into a room of people and make them feel as if everything was great.
Yeah, and she had an energy.
Look at her face in every photograph. There's a positive, wonderful glow. Also, she had this incredible ability, which he kind of inherited, and I told him that. And he said, "Thanks very much." To make people feel at ease and make them feel that everything's going to be all right. I haven't experienced many people in my life who have that ability, but she could walk into a room of people and make them feel as if everything was great.
So yes, I don't know what that was from, but that was a clip of the Duke of Sussex and whoever those other guys are. I don't know if the other guy is David Furnish, and of course Elton John, and of course the discussion was what we've already said so many times is that Harry is just the embodiment of his mother's continued um, charity, philanthropy, her goodwill, all of those things. It's as though Harry is the only one in that family that genuinely, truly have carried on her legacy. Unlike the other sibling who seems to be fixated on the dark side, who puts the politics of his position above all else. I mean, I don't know the point of the monarchy if they have no humanity. And he has forfeited whatever humanity that he's had, and he's just gone to the dark side. He has become the ultimate company man. He doesn't really put people first. And it was just as I said yesterday, it is so interesting the contrast between the two brothers when they are supposed to be honoring people to celebrate their mother's life. On the one hand, you have Harry, who is so full of grace in that moment, and then you have William that looks like he has a hangover, like he's got a plane to catch. Very sad contrast, but very true. William doesn't seem to uh, actually. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that for you guys. I shared it with you yesterday. Oh, yeah, it should be here. I'm like, what a contradiction or contrast, rather. Let me see. Okay, that's not it. How come I am not seeing it? And I just had that. Oh, okay, this might be a better way to look for it. Yes. Okay. Okay, not helpful at all. By the way, there's some 1,200 of you guys. If you are not subscribed, please do subscribe because um, in about 250 more subscribers, and Royal Sussex will be at a whopping 35,000 subscribers. 35,000. Can you believe that? We are so close. So please do subscribe if you're not subscribed. Huh, that is so weird. I literally do not see it. Oh well. I'm going to move on. Mm, I say that, and yet I'm still looking. I know it's got to be here. Well, anyway, most of y'all have seen it, so I won't. I won't drag it out. Let me see. We've already talked about the comparison between Smokey the Bear and someone else who is totally capable of stomping out a forest fire. So that's not it. But just to be petty, I thought I would bring it up. But don't worry, I got some more pettiness later. Oh man, and that's not it, but close. Except, all right. Anyway, so I'm gonna take a look at a couple of your comments here, and then we'll move on. Oh, let me turn this off. There we go. Mm, okay, Cynthia Henderson says Harry seems to have embraced the care for others that their mother tried so hard to pass on to her boys. Yeah, with William, it just seems like a sense of duty, and that there's no heart there. There are countless photos of Harry and gangster Grand Liz looking at each other, smiling, laughing, and enjoying each other. Has anyone seen such a photo with Billy $1 million? If you can find one, Diane Hawkins. Do you know? Do you know? I cannot think of one. I cannot think of one. Now, I'll say this: when was it Sandhurst? There was that big smile that the Queen had when Harry graduated, right? I think it was Sandhurst, and it wasn't as warm. She was not as warm, and I remember I showed a comparison of both of them graduating, and it was at different times, I believe. And I did show the comparison of how, the Queen was giddy watching. Oh, there it is right there. There it is. And it was right there the whole time. So there you go. This is the Diana Award. Harry William. Harry William. Now, they recorded at different points, right? Harry's was recorded in California, I believe, because I do recall that the girl said that she was told she was going to get on the plane to go somewhere. And then there is William, who did not have to leave home. Again, note the contrast. Note the contrast. And then, if that's not enough, let me see, where is it? Okay. Okay, nope, not that one. Oh, not that either. Let me go back here. Let me go back here. Why do I keep clicking on that photo? Okay, so that is Harry with the group, right, from the Diana Awards, the recipients. And I tell you, why they are standing so far back away from the girl in the wheelchair, that looks so awkward to me. And I'm not saying that, but there is Harry with his arms embracing the ladies on either side of him, and that same lady from that photo with Harry is there with William, and not so warm. And I think it all has to do with the vibe, with what they feel from who is supposed to be the most famous person in the group, right? But if the warmth is not there, it's just not there, and that's really too bad. Really too bad for him. William, that is. William has was flying high because of his looks when he was younger. He has become very bitter since his looks have faded. He feels that he is owed everything Harry has because he doesn't think Harry is entitled to it. And there's a great deal of truth in that, Lex. There is so much truth in what you just said. There is a sense of entitlement that William has. I mean, a entitlement that you would. Okay, the Queen Mother. If I recall, they said the Queen Mother left more money to Harry, or was it Diana left more money to Harry, realizing, or was it both of them realizing that William was going to do okay once he inherits that Duchy of Cornwall? And that, of course, is not Harry's story. And in spite of the fact that he has $1 billion fortune since the death of his grandmother, I mean, last breath, he has $1 billion at his disposal. He has a £20 million a year income. And yet, he still wants everything that Harry has. He wants to be the official royal family member to Africa. He would love to do something like the Invictus Games. And because he doesn't have it, because of the attention that it would bring to Harry, not just William, but let's not leave Charles out of this, there is very little representation from the British military. I don't think they had a real delegation. And is it true that to go to The Hague, they had to go on a bus to get there? I mean, nothing wrong with that, but I think they had to go on a bus to get there. They did have like a family tent for all of the British families and such, like a little tent somewhere. And I did see Meghan. Well, we all saw Meghan go to be with the kids and such there. But other than that, there was no military representation. I mean, active duty command military representation at the Invictus Games. The United States sent a delegation, including one United States senator. Was Pete Buttigieg there? He is actually a veteran, and a couple other people. The United States even had a coin. Joe Biden had them mint a coin for the occasion. I mean, not a spending coin, but you know, a souvenir coin for the occasion. I don't know what came from the British military. Whatever it was, it could not have been anything of note. And that's because of the jealousy of Harry. They are just jealous of everything Harry has achieved. They're jealous of the connection that he has with the public. Yeah, I thought I heard that they had to go by bus. Thank you. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But they also have some great high-speed rail trains. They have some great high-speed rail trains in Europe too. Andrew Bodie, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, now I said I won't share the photos of the Sussexes because of that. The same people that produced those photos for the Daily Fail today were the same ones that were chasing them around New York. So I just can't deal with them. But this is the hat that Harry was wearing. FYI, you can find this hat and some that are similar to it. They have the ones that look very weathered like this, and then they have some that are more pristine. You can find these on Amazon and also on eBay and other places. Not really hard to find. And on Amazon, I think I saw it for like $15. So if you are interested in a very affordable Sussex look, well, there's one for you right there. Let me see here. I have my Amazon open right now. I'm gonna see how they titled that hat. Ooh, I should add that to my gift list. Let me see. It's the KBETHOS, Kebethos, KBETHOS, whatever that means. It's called Republic Cali Bear Collection Dad Hat. Yeah, that's what it's called. Oh, I can share this with you guys, can I? All right, let me see if I figure out how to do that. But yeah, I will share it with you. But they have them in different colors and everything. And they have some that are not, as I said, weathered. Oh, there's the link right there. Copy link. I will put it right here. Now that is Amazon, but they also have them on eBay and other sellers. So I guess the company is kind of popular for something like that. Well, I don't know if you're interested in having one, then I would say do it sooner rather than later because they may go kind of fast. But yeah, that is the hat. It is the Republic Cali Bear Collection Dad Hat, baseball cap polo style adjustable. That's the whole title from K Bethos. K Bethos. Since 2001, that's what it says. Oh, they make all kind of hats. Interesting. They got bucket hats. They have the vented hats, with the mesh in the back and everything. So there you go. Well, anyway, that is the link for it if you're interested. A link, but they sell them at different retailers. So sometimes when I'm shopping, I will buy from other places because I may feel like one retailer is big enough, so I'll just shop someplace else. You know what I'm saying? Send my money someplace else. Okay. But I won't tell y'all what to do. Official Lauren Brown. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so there you go. That's the hat that Harry wore in those unauthorized uh, pap photos. I don't know. I didn't look to see, but I'm pretty sure they do. I mean, they have to. Now, take a look here. King's Scottish Coronation Hour by Hour Guide to Edinburgh's Celebration. Edinburgh. I always say borough. Edinburgh. Edinburgh celebration. Okay. I say it like I got gas. That's not good. Okay, let me try it one more time. Edinburgh. I keep saying borough. Edinburgh celebration. From the service of Thanksgiving to the royal procession, people across Scotland will be able to celebrate the monarch's new reign. So, when is all of this taking place? Scotland will mark the coronation of King and Queen Consort on Wednesday, July 5th, during Royal Week in Edinburgh. It will be preceded by a number of royal engagements on Monday, July 3rd, and Tuesday, July 4th. Key events and timing: July 3rd, the King will attend the ceremony of keys on the forecourt of the Palace of Holyrood House. And can you believe Holyrood actually means Holy Cross, I think? I think it means Holy Cross. Anyway, I went to the Holyrood Castle. Let me see. Or is it Palace? Castle, Palace. The King will attend a reception at the Royal Yacht Britannia to mark the 25th year since her arrival in Edinburgh. It will be the first formal visit to the yacht since 1997. And then, of course, Tuesday, July 4th, the King will view the Jubilee gates marking the Platinum Jubilee at the Palace of Holyrood. The King, Queen Consort, Princess Royale will host a garden party at the Holyrood House. So that is what they're expecting. Now, where are the protests? Right now, I don't see any protests scheduled for that event, but this is some more of the minute by minute if you're interested. Scotland has its own Scottish pond, or is that pond or parliament? Parliament, right? Oh, is it pound? Scottish pound? Are you talking about the money? They have their own currency? Or, okay, did not know that. Let's see. Leg says Harry was a spare living in a shack with holy shoes and broke, yet he landed a beautiful, intelligent, accomplished, rich Hollywood actress and humanitarian. William has the heir as the heir got Kate definitely jealous, especially when we consider the fact that some of the biggest fans in all of the United Kingdom of the hit television show Suits was who? Will and Kate. They could not believe that Harry was able to date someone so beautiful, so accomplished, and so popular. And of course, a what do you call it? A what is the word I'm looking for? Self-made, and very self-made. So I'm sure that's where the jealousy comes from. And we all have seen it, but I'm going to share it one more time. That rather uncomfortable, glaring look that William had at the Westminster Abbey that day, which Harry does not seem to cotton too well to. And Kate, as usual, looks totally lost. When she's not grinning, she doesn't seem to be present. So thank you so much for that, Legs. And thank you for the super chat. All right. So this was one of the protests that happened before the coronation. They do have a protest that is scheduled for the 29th of July. Now, take a look here. There's some bad blood with Will and Kate and Scotland. The royals ignored Scott government appeal to scrap trip. This is during the very height of the pandemic when there was no vaccine. And of course, they ignored her, Nicola Sturgeon, and they went up there anyway. And right there, Prince William and Kate Middleton left a massive trail of royal criticism after Scotland tour stop, British royal family. Well, they asked them not to come, and they came anyway. And during the trip, Kate, of course, wowed them with yet another coat dress. She went all the way up there to share yet another coat dress. It's this one.
Meghan in a Valentino white. I hate to do this, but compare Meghan in a Valentino white, absolutely wowing the crowds, and dear Kate in that very staid 1940s Amelia Wickstead coat.
Oh, you were really winding me up now. Yeah.
Well, I knew that would upset you, Richard, because I know you're more of a Middleton kind of girl and you like the sort of twin set and pearls 50s look. But all I'm saying is, who's speaking to the future generations, the younger generations? It's Meghan.
Yes, so that is the coat dress that she wore, not the one you see in the photo, but she had wore the other one that I showed you. So let's see here. Let's just send you a super chat, which did not appear on your live. I just told YouTube about the problem. That is interesting. I don't know why that would happen. And I certainly didn't accidentally block you because I can see you. So usually it's the other way around. When people are blocked, I can see the super chats. But here, I can see you now, and I don't see a super chat. Well, thank you for trying anyway. I appreciate that. But we're just glad you're here. And of course, take a look there. Oi, come back. As you can see, Scotland was not happy about the Brexit. And this illustration reminds people that Scotland unanimously voted to stay or remain with the European Union, while the good ship Britannia decided to, well, sail away from it, to pull away from it. So there's also that going on. And of course, the impact of leaving the European Union has hit Scotland harder than it has hit England. So there's also that. I don't think a lot of people are going to be in the mood to celebrate. And then, of course, the other day, while in Aberdeen, we all know what happened to William. So I'm not going to show that video again. We know how William went all the way to Aberdeen to be totally embarrassed by the lack of, let's see, how did they put it? In a scene reminiscent of Beatlemania, Prince William is mobbed by fans as he visits Aberdeen. So I'm not going to share that video again. After I show it to you one more time.
Yeah, I've been messing around today with Belfast this morning.
So, and that's the last time I'm going to show that today. So, Cher Brown says Harry was never broke. Millions put away and a working royal salary. He just didn't care about material stuff. Well, there is a air of truth to that as well. Harry was not obsessed with money in any way whatsoever. He did have an inheritance, but I don't think he had access to it at that time. Even if he wanted it, didn't he have to? What age was it that he had to? Didn't he have to wait until he got to a certain age before he had access to it? We know he had some money from the Queen Mother. Who knows how much? The Queen Mother herself was in a lot of debt, and the Queen had to pay her debt when she died. He may have gotten some from Philip, but that was, of course, after he got married. So he had money invested, but he did not live off of that investment. And there was no okay. This is kind of complicated because I think he was aware that he was living below the standards of most of the senior servants and such, right? But at the same time, he did not really care to be there. He was kind of living out of a knapsack to some degree. He divided his time between being away at war, being at Clarence House. He had a bedroom there for a while. And then, of course, according to the book, he was living beneath one of the, like a garden apartment, if you will. And he was shopping at the TK Maxx. So, yeah, that is like one of those things because obviously Harry was worried about money so that he could afford security after he left the UK with his family, right? So, yeah, I just don't know how much access he had to the money. I don't think that he was, I don't think he really cared about money that much. And at the same time, by the time he met Meghan, he cared enough to be embarrassed by the fact that he didn't have much. And so I don't know what the fine print was as to when he could access his money. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know if he had access to it. Be interesting to find out. Thank you so much for the super chat, Share Brown. But yeah, I think that is one of the factors as to why he was living in the state that he was living in when he met Meghan. Because if you look at it like this, if he had money, then why did Meghan use her credit card to buy a sofa? He may have had it and just not have had any access to it. And maybe he had to be married to have access to the money. I don't think he ever mentioned one way or the other. So yeah, interesting, but I'm not sure how that played out. So yes, the money was there. I think his mother had left him like 20 million pounds or whatever it was. But whether or not he had access to it, I don't know. YM Droid says, Ruth, the Scottish crickets and tumbleweeds would like to be acknowledged for their presence. Thank you so much, YM Droid, for that. He had access from age 30. Okay. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Linda R. Oh, really? Anfu says, well spoke when Egghead was left without people to greet him in Aberdeen. Absolutely. Okay. Diane Hawkins says, all Scots should boycott Charles III's second coronation, stay home and watch Suits, starring Her Royal Highness Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, before she knew Harry. Good answer. I like that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, he had access. Oh, there. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat. He had access from 30 and had a salary as well. Yes, he did have his salary from the military. That he also has that. And I believe he should have a pension from the military as well, right? Yeah. It'd be interesting to find out. So, and how old was he when he met Meghan? Uh, and that was back in 2016. Okay. Well, oh, you're looking at the hats right now. Cool. Cool. I love that hat. I love it. I kind of like the weathered look, but I imagine you're going to get something a little different and something for New York. I bet. All right, so here goes. March for Independence, Saturday, July the 29th. Procession route, the blah, 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 blah. So that is what they're planning to do on Saturday the 29th. I don't know if I should be the one to tell them that the coronation is going to be what, July the 5th? Somebody tell them. Now, there are some veterans among us. Black Queen, you're a veteran, right? There are some veterans among us. You've been selected. Thank our troops this 4th of July. Sign the card. They have a card online. I don't have the link for it, but they have an online card. I think there's one with the USO, and then there's, I forgot which one this was. But anyway, the 4th of July, Independence Day here in the United States, is the 4th. And there are some people that are off from work Monday and Tuesday because the 4th of July is on Tuesday this year. So happy 4th to you guys. Ah, there she is, the puppet master. So one of the squaddies made this, and of course, I'm shady enough to share it with you. Check it out. Puppet Monarch. The legacy continues. Camilla, the puppet monarch. The legacy continues. That looks about right. Yeah, if they weren't so busy trying to figure out how to disparage these Sussexes, they might actually get out the house and go and celebrate their faves. Oh, very, very good. Yes, Baron, so are a few more squaddies. That's right. Thank you, Bud, so much for your service. Now, there's evil and there's whoever did this. I must admit, I had to look at this for a minute before I got it. There's evil, and then there's whoever did this. This is like something that I would be obsessed with every day that I stood on the bus stop across the street. I would look at this and say to myself, why? Or who does this? Who does something like this? That would bother me. They had one job, and that was to put that back on the correct way. But instead, to confound and frustrate innocent pedestrians and the occasional motorist who happens to glance over at it, some evil, and I do mean evil, twisted individual decided, duh, I'll just put it on like this. Oh man, I'll just put it on like this. Who does something like that? There is a hole born every minute. So yeah, I'm sorry I shared that with you, but because I am frustrated by it, I thought I would share it with you. I know, Black Queen. It's just I saw that on the Twitter, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to share this. There's evil. That was the comment that they posted. There's evil, and there's whoever did this. Speaking of evil, Kate Middleton insisted on recollections may vary in Palace response to Harry and Meghan's Oprah interview. I don't know if I believe that she's responsible. That is a little too clever for her. Plus, for her to come up with something like that, she would have to talk or instruct someone. So I don't know that I believe that she said that. But this is Valentine Lowe's handiwork again for a new book that he's writing or written. If you take a look here, this has been trending for the past couple of days. Kate Middleton played key role in Palace's response to Meghan Markle's Oprah interview, new book says. And of course, again, Valentine Lowe. A new edition of Courtiers, The Hidden Power Behind the Crown by Valentine Lowe claims Kate advocated for the recollections may vary phrase in Buckingham Palace statement. No. First of all, the people that were orchestrating stuff at Buckingham Palace, not Kensington Palace, they were answering to Charles and the men in gray suits. So, no. I don't know if this is supposed to make Kate look tough or decisive. And because I'm such a, well, you know how I am, I saw the picture that came with the article of a very windblown, airbrushed Kate, and I said, nay, why don't I find the real Kate Middleton and put that with the story? So that's where the photo on the right comes from, the one that they forgot to airbrush. So that's the real Kate. Since they want to strip away the veneer of being so, wholesome and all of that other stuff, I thought, why don't we see the real Kate? If this is supposed to be a real comment or some real influence from Kate, why don't we show Kate stripped down with not nearly enough primping? Why don't we put that with it? So that's why the photo looks so different from the other one. Yeah, he's throwing Kate under the bus. Let's see. Kate looks 60. That's me being generous. And that's me being generous more than she deserves. Yeah. Well, that's the real Kate. I mean, since we want to expose people, we might as well expose them, mind, body, and soul. And of course, this is the real Kate. We had a glimpse of Kate. It's at those big events like the Coronation and, of course, the Queen's funeral when the real Kate is exposed. That's when you get that very steely look of hers. And trust me, that's all it is a look. That is a paper tiger if there's ever been one. She's good at being the mean girl because she is backed by an entire institution that has relied upon her. Imagine if you're William and you have been conditioned, you have been intellectualized in every possible way to believe that you are ordained by God and that it is your right to have subjects, it's your right to have the sovereign grant and the Duchy of Lancaster as soon as your father takes his last breath. And then imagine Kate, who has given birth to a future king or queen, and she has been told that she is the savior of the royal family. Well, there is a sense of entitlement that certainly has never been earned. All she did was show up, and through a lot of skillful negotiation and her family pretending to be rich and all the other stuff, somehow Kate has moved up yet another rung on the ladder closer to being the queen consort. And this keeps happening. If you take a look here, Kate Middleton taking her revenge on Meghan Markle with major change, says expert. Speaking on the royal beat, royal biographer Duncan Larcombe says that the hiring of new private secretary for Kate Middleton comes as revenge against her sister-in-law, Meghan Markle. Why that is supposed to be revenge, I don't know. And this is not the photo that accompanied that story. Once again, I thought, well, I like the way that they have airbrushed her and they have, coiffed her hair and everything. But why don't I find the real Kate Middleton? One flew over the cuckoo's nest, Kate Middleton. Why don't I share that? Why don't I share One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Kate Middleton, for the purposes of this conversation. Joan Garcia, thank you so much for becoming a new member of Royal Sussex. Were you not a member, or did you do it again just to make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to? But either way, thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciate it. But yes, there is the real Kate Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Middleton. I thought, why not share that one? Why don't I? So there you go. Oh man, crazy, crazy for feeling so high and mighty. I'm crazy, crazy for thinking I'm cute. Crazy. Oh well. But yeah, there you go. Okay, so let me. All right. Good night, Carlene Beckford. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Queenie say they are slowly going to remove Kate out of the royal out of the family. Camilla has a plan for her. We'll see. We'll see. I cannot see her going without a fight. Oh, thank you, Joan Garcia. Joan Garcia has upgraded. I don't mention this much, but I did change. You know how it was just $4.99? Well, now there's other levels. I don't remember what they were, but there's other levels now. So thank you so much, Joan Garcia. That's 30, 60 to 90 days, not just 60 to 90. Although I think that 30 won't be enough, but there are 30, 60 to 90 days. Now, right here, Kate Middleton called Harry Meghan walkabout the hardest thing she had to do. Okay. We all heard that before. And where did that come from? Valentine Lowe. Again, Valentine Lowe's handiwork. I think that was Valentine Lowe, wasn't it? Who was it an article that he wrote, or was it for that book? That the walkabout that they had after the Queen died, that was supposed to be the hardest thing that Kate ever had to do. I thought the hardest thing she ever had to do was to recite the national anthem, or to remember the national anthem. And of course, usually the hardest thing that Kate ever has to do is public speaking. That, I think, takes a greater toll on Kate Middleton than walking next to Harry and Meghan. Now, of course, here at Royal Sussex, we did reach out to Kensington Palace for comment. And according to Kate,
obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously, to this day, and going forward and things. It is. It's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So, yeah, I do.
Yes, talk about word salad. So before we assume that walking next to Harry and Meghan was difficult, we've all seen her public speaking. That's difficult for her. Let's see. Oh, I did. Yeah, thank you so much. See, we're on the right track. Thank you so much, Meghan. Oh, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Well, yes, that is what happened when we reached out to Kensington Palace, and they replied in kind. And I'm sorry. One more time, Kate. What was that?
Obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously to this day, and going forward and things. It is, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
I do. Meghan, Hein, Murray, thank you so much again. You are quite welcome. Okay, so yes, that's I wouldn't worry about the walkabouts, girl. Just concentrate on that there. Now, to remind you guys about the mean girl, and I do mean mean girl, Kate, right here, Duchess of Cambridge recycled white Alexander McQueen coat dress. Now, so there were some people who were trying to say that she did not wear white to Meghan's wedding. But I found this clip right here of that same dowdy mid-century nightmare dress, or that 1940s forgettable dress. I found the same dress. She wore it in 2015, 16, 17, 18, and 2022. White Alexander McQueen coat dress. Period. So for all of those who tried to say, oh no, it was this, it was that, it was white. She wore white to another woman's wedding. Now, yes, there was the argument that the hat had a bit of a yellow to it. You can see the hat 2018. She wore a white coat dress to someone else's wedding. I'm just saying. And then there was this. Seriously, what is this crap? Says Omen Scobie. Well, right there, you can see yet another one of those games that were played. So while I don't believe recollections may vary, while I don't believe that came from Kate, just a reminder of what she is capable of. She is the mean girl. Now, right here, Princess of Wales' new private secretary rejects job, opting to stay with Jamie Oliver. Kensington Palace aides have gone back to the drawing board in their search for a suitable candidate. Now, just the other day, Omid Scobie wrote about this in an article about Charles and, and how when Kate could not seem to keep a personal assistant or secretary, the tabloid media just glosses over it. As a matter of fact, they were so confounded by that within an hour, it changed. Look at the timestamp. Victoria Ward, 2:53 p.m. Victoria Ward, 3:45 p.m. Same story. Princess of Wales' new private secretary rejects job to stay under the radar. Alison Kornfeld, Kornfeld, is said to be uncomfortable with the publicity, so decided to stay with Jamie Oliver, who she has worked for 8 years. So right here, instead of making the case against the newly minted Princess of Wales, move over to the right side and you can see they're putting all of the blame, all of the responsibility on Allison that she did not want the attention, that she did not want to leave Jamie Oliver. When the truth is, she went to Kensington Palace. She took a measure of things, and people probably told her, don't go, don't go, don't go. And she went anyway. So she gets over there, and then she finds out that it's a real crap show, and she left. I mean, she literally poked her head in the door and said, nope, nope. And then she turned around and left. That's what happened. She literally walked in there, looked around, and of course, it doesn't help when you see Kate away from all of the cameras and grinning and smiling and stuff like that. When she got there, this is what she saw. That's the face she saw. She walked in there and poked her head in the door and said nope, and turned around and left. It wasn't just because she wanted to stay with Jamie Oliver, but when she saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Middleton, little mama say nope and turned around and left. I mean, she hightailed it in the opposite direction, wouldn't you? If you went to a job and you found out that this is what your boss looks like away from the cameras, how long would you stay there? How long would you stay? So my point is, they have the ability to change these articles. Meghan said in the Oprah Winfrey interview that when it's something that the palace is against, if there's something that rattles their cage, they will make a phone call and they can have that story removed. So obviously, for whatever reason, oh, I'm sorry, not that one. They want this story. They want this story. Recollections may vary. They want to try to make her look strong and decisive, or they're trying to throw her under the bus. One or the other. They're either trying to build her up or they're about to tear her down. All signs have been pointing to, girl, you better watch your back. You better watch your back, because your days in that family may be numbered. This has been a pattern as of late, that they seem to have targeted her in a way that makes her look bad. They're not airbrushing her photos. They're putting words in her mouth. And you can tell it's somebody else's words. Otherwise, it would sound like this.
And she's obviously, she's an inspiration.
So you know it's somebody else's words, because if it was her words,
obviously on to this day, and you know, going forward and things.
That's how you can tell it's somebody else's words. I don't even know if they could translate that if they wanted to, but that's how you can tell it's somebody else's words and things and this and that and things. And this and that and things.
You know, it is, you know, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and you know, very inspirational. So
yes, and things and things. We heard you, girl, and things. So that's when you know it's somebody else's words, not hers. So now take a look here. Oh yeah, you know this. I think this is just a longer version. This is like the actual articles that went with it. But again, if you look at the timestamp, you can see. Wait, is it? Oh no! Wait. Oh Lord! Now you know I can't see that. Let me see here. I know I can't see that. What was I thinking? Okay, it says there. Princess has appointed branding and marketing expert Allison. Oh. This was before Allison poked her head in the door and took a good look at her. But it says right here, has appointed branding and marketing expert Allison Cornfield to be her new private secretary, in a highly significant gear change from what has gone before. Rather than looking to government departments for staff. Yeah, because a lot of times they will take people who have worked with other people in the government or whatever. They'll take those people and bring them into the royal household. And then the other story there says Princess of Wales' new private secretary rejects job to stay under the radar. And so that is more of the article rather than just the headline. Understands to have been uncomfortable with the prospect of having such a high profile position and decided instead to remain under the radar. The mother of three, a branding and marketing expert, has worked with Jamie Oliver for 8 years. She decided she wanted to keep her head down. So yeah, on one hand, they make it seem like they just say she didn't want to stay there. And on the other hand, they try to change the story like about an hour later to make it seem as though she just, wanted to be with Jamie Oliver. So, right. Oh, let's see. Where is that at? Lydia. Hey, Lydia Washington. Did not know you were here. Jeanette Ambersley says that girl burned rubber. Get out of there. I know. Screeching tires on the way out of Kensington Palace. I bet she turned the corner on 2 wheels. I bet you one side of her car lifted as she banked the corner to get the heck out of there. Yeah, it's just like the movie Mommy Dearest. Do you know they had asked Anne Bancroft to play Joan Crawford? Anne Bancroft turned them down. And Faye Dunaway took the role and hasn't really worked a lot since. So, same thing. This woman has dodged a bullet. She's the Anne Bancroft of personal secretaries. She dodged that bullet because working for Mumbles, that is career ending as far as I'm concerned. Nobody would ever take you serious again. Thank you, by the way, Janet. Thank you. So, there we go. Right there. That's where we are. Isn't a champion of anything. Kate isn't a champion of anything. She's not sincere or authentic. She's scripted and stiff. Even her hands are stiff. Don't ask me what she said. She's hard to understand. She's not fit for the role Princess Diana had. So that is a little comment from one of the squatties some time ago. And then, of course, if you look at the other, these are from my little archive, by the way. Princess of Wales' new private secretary rejects jobs, opting to stay. Oh, yeah. I had put those together with this one. Okay, so yeah. And, of course, I'm pretty sure, I have it on good authority, that there's a little joke going around Kensington Palace. How do you get rid of the paparazzi? All you have to do is bring up the early years. That's the best way to clear a room, is to say, have you heard about the early years? I'm sure that anytime the Cambridges, the Waleses, or whoever they are is, when they want to be alone, all you have to do is bring up the early years. And when you bring up the early years, you can clear an entire room within seconds. Wait, haven't told you what the 5 big questions are. Early years, Kate Middleton, that will clear a room. Early years vanity project by everyone but Kate. We have already discussed that. Kate merely put her name on the work that other people have done. This is why I say when they have articles like that, they're not really helping Kate, because even though they may not like it, these articles are designed to disparage or attack Meghan. And because someone like me feels a certain way about the Duchess of Sussex, I feel like I have to call them out. And there's a lot of people that feel like they have to call them out. They really are not doing her a favor. So there's a two Britons. There is the Cambridges, Wells's way of life, and then there are people that are struggling to make ends meet. And so all of this cosplaying, all of this performative stuff that the Cambridges, the Wellses are doing, in the long run, I think it's going to come back to bite them in the behind. So right here, quite nattering. Will teases Kate during food bank visit. Will teases Kate as they help at food bank. Then she mocks his trolley loading skills. They're sitting up there having fun and games while people are going to food banks. They are at a food bank making a big joke out of it. Her more than him, of course. Yeah, people struggling and hungry, and you're laughing. For a photo op really is not funny when you're struggling to feed your children. You really are intent on recreating the Marie Antoinette moment of mocking the less fortunate with their let them eat cake scenario. Who thought turning up at a food bank empty-handed for photo op was good optics, not to mention the cost to the taxpayers of the upcoming coronation. This is prior to the coronation, and they're having a big laugh. They showed up empty-handed, and of course, this is not the first and won't be the last time. Kate looking glam on a hot pink, Hobbs London coat and matching Hobbs turtleneck that she paired with wide-leg navy pants. Another trip empty-handed with a fleet of Range Rovers. And then once inside the 350 million pound per year royal family, the lady had tried to educate Kate about something. And I believe it was on video. And Kate said, well, I'm not really here for that. She didn't want to really hear about what was happening with the food bank. She was there for the photo ops. I suppose this is to raise the morale of the rest of the country, right? This is supposed to raise the morale. And instead, they get away with it because the tabloid media protects them. If this was anybody else, they would have been skewered. But because it is fun with Dick and Jane, there's nothing to be said about it. Dansby won. Oh, I'm sorry that happened. I wonder what's happening then. That is weird. I don't know, because I think the same thing is happening with Joan Garcia. I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. I don't see it. I got two screens open, and I don't see it on either one. But thank you for trying, though. I appreciate it. Or if it did go through, thank you for that. Kaiser has said Princess Kate and William arrived empty-handed to visit Windsor Food Bank. And again, this is one of those visits where Kate doesn't venture too far from the postal code. That's another thing. Kate does not venture too far away from the postal code. It's as though she's worried that William is going to change the locks on her. Is she worried that William is going to change the locks? Is that why she's not venturing too far from the postal code? Does she want to try to beat the locksmith to the house, or what's going on? That's kind of weird. And I believe it was Celibici that pointed out that she doesn't do anything that's not within like 15 miles of home. Interesting. She's playing the long game. She has always got her eye on, this is my life and my historic path, and I am going to be the queen one day. This is what they're saying about Kate, right? Isn't this the same thing that they said about the wicked witch of the devil? Isn't that the same thing? They said the same thing about her. that she's got her eye on the prize, that she has her eye on other things. That is the same thing that they said about the Wicked Witch of the Devil. And now they're saying it about Kate. Do people not see this? One down, one to go. I made this myself. One down, one to go. For Sophie, I think you'd have to, well, the only way this would happen for Sophie, the royal family would have to have a really bad day. But otherwise, one down, one to go. Now, if that isn't one of the best photos, that should be a Pulitzer Prize winning photo. Two women that married into an institution, both of them showed up broke, as we have found out. Both of them showed up broke. And of course, the biggest comeuppance that their families collectively have ever had is being a part of that institution. The only thing that's really bad for Ford Fiesta is she's going to spend the rest of her life following around someone who ain't got the sense God gave a lemon. That's the rest of her life. That is a particular hell I wouldn't want to have to be in. It'd be different if, you know, the person you were following was a nice person, but instead it is a mean girl. You're going to have to, one mean girl following the next. That is her life. Look at this article. Is Kate Middleton the real royal revolutionary? How many more times are they going to try to build her up? They have been building this girl up for 20 years. Do you hear me? 20 years they have been trying to build her up. And even a month ago, they were just saying, Kate finally coming into her own. She ought to be embarrassed. She really ought to be embarrassed. 20 years of being around that family, and you are still finding your
and to look up to, obviously on to this day, and you know, going forward and things.
You are still trying to find your voice. 20 years, and you're still trying to find your voice. You're still coming into yourself. You're still keening. You're keening. You have finally found it, whatever it is.
And she's obviously she's an inspiration.
Oh. But you know what? This is what I've noticed. They're trying to, I've seen this a few places where they were saying that Meghan was trying to be Princess Diana. But in the past few weeks, who has been running around pretending to be a Disney princess? Who has been wearing pink every other place she goes? Who has been doing this whole early years that nobody knows what it is, right? Who has been the one that seems to be obsessed with everything about children? Meghan doesn't push herself upon other people's children. That's Kate that's doing that. And when we think royals and having affection for children, the first person we think about, we associate that with Princess Diana. So she's trying to be Princess Diana without anybody saying Diana 2.0. They're projecting. They're trying to say the Sussexes are breaking up or having marital problems, when it's actually the Cambridges or the Welleses or whatever the heck they are. Everything is projection. Whatever they are saying about the Sussexes, it always means Will and Kate. Y.M. George says 60 years and she'll still learning. Right. She's 60 years old or thereabouts, and she's still learning. This is a 60-year-old woman. I don't care what anybody says, that woman is 60 years old, and she's still finding her voice. She is still keening. She's still coming into herself. She's the royal family's secret weapon. They recycle all of those headlines over and over again. And still, just like she was day one, just as basic and insignificant and mediocre as they come.
Met her, and
yeah, she's still that person. Thank you, YM Droid, for the super chat. I'm just offended. I am really offended. I am offended. No kidding. I am offended that you take the most mediocre, nonsensical person, and here you take that person and try to create this scenario where she is brighter and more loved and more intelligent and more capable. She has all these hidden talents, whereas you have someone who academically is brighter. You have someone who speaks at least 2 other languages, someone who has done the nearly impossible. She's been a working actress. You know how many people calls themselves an actress that don't even have a SAG card? Yeah, not to mention, have they ever really worked consistently? A self-made person, an entrepreneur. 3 million followers on Instagram, a clothing line, the United Nations, and then you got mediocre Middleton. That offends me. I'm offended by that. And I'm sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick! I'm sick of it. But I'm seriously, y'all, I am very offended by that. And I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it. Stop trying to make this person out to be more innovative than sliced bread while consistently trying to tear. And I've had people say to me, it really doesn't help the Sussexes that you say things about the other royals. I don't care. They're not going to invite me over. I feel how I feel. And saying nothing doesn't seem to do anything. Somebody's got to call them out. I don't see how saying nothing helps. So when they tell me, when I hear from them, this is not helpful, man, okay, that's the end of it. I'll be nicer. But right now, just like you all, I am very frustrated. And I'm very tired. I'm tired of them trying to make this insignificant person, this non-achieving C average student, trying to make her this A student, trying to make her a valedictorian. It's not right. And in order to build her up, how do they build her up? How do you make her out to be something? You have to have a contrast. And to do that, you have to make people believe that Meghan is the devious one. You have to make people believe that Meghan is lazy and a non-achiever. Meghan lazy? How does that work out? But they're trying it. They are trying to come up with this this personality that just does not exist. Not for Meghan. Whatever they're trying to say about Meghan, they're really speaking about Kate. It's like they're trying to do a body snatchers or something. They're trying to swap their lives. The best thing that Kate has ever done is when she's pretending to be Meghan. The only time she ever looks like she's competent is when they try to convince you that she's Meghan. Other than that, it's a big fat nothing burger. So yeah, I'm sick of it. I've had my fill of it. I said what I said. They got to stop doing that. It's not what we're doing to her. It's not what we're saying about her. It's what the tabloids are doing. It's what her aides and courtiers are doing. It's Kensington Palace. It's not us. But I'm sorry, if you're going to push, expect some pushback. If you're going to push people around, expect some pushback. It just comes natural. All of this performance and pretense, and who is it helping? It's certainly not helping her. Yeah, you got a bunch of old royalists fooled, but to the rest of the world, she's a joke. She is an absolute joke. William is a joke, a jealous, cruel, mean-spirited bully, and a joke. Both of them. They are both a couple of jokes. And people laugh at them. The young people on TikTok, they are the ones they are the ones that inspire me. I'm inspired by them. But they're a joke. Look at this. And it's a bad joke. It's not even funny. And behind the scenes, they're laughing. They're laughing. Kate is, when she's laughing like that, it's because she knows she has the whole world fooled. Now I'm going to play this soundbite for you guys, these two young ladies. Gonna play this soundbite for you.
This is the dumbest Valentine Low and now being reported by People magazine. Kate Middleton played a key role in the palace's response to Meghan Markle's Oprah interview, new book says. In his new book, Valentine Low claims that Kate advocated for the recollections may vary phrase in Buckingham Palace's statement. So obviously nobody's advising Kensington Palace or William and Kate when it comes to allowing stories like this to come out. We all know they have the power to shut stories down. They've done it plenty of times. They put stories out there about Meghan and Harry before, so they definitely have the power to shut it down. This is not the flex they think it is. For some reason, Valentine Low thinks that he's doing Kate some kind of favor by putting stories out like this one. He was also the one who claimed that Kate apparently felt that walking next to Harry and Meghan during the Queen's funeral was the hardest thing she ever had to do, which completely blew up in their faces because that was a horrible story. It made her look desperate for attention and completely out of touch. There's only two ways that people are going to perceive Kate after this story, and both ways are completely negative. The main reason why that phrase was used in the statement is because Meghan claimed that somebody in the family was questioning what color her baby was going to be or how dark the baby was going to be. So him claiming that Kate was the author behind that phrase of recollections may vary, it's very damaging to her image because, as many of us have long suspected, it's now pretty much sure that she was the one questioning how dark the baby was going to be. Also, if you think about it, it makes her look kind of manipulative when she is putting phrases in the Queen's mouth when this statement was supposed to come from the Queen, not from her. So it's actually making her look power hungry, controlling, and operating way above her station because the Queen was still alive. She wasn't even the Princess of Wales. She was just the Duchess of Cambridge. So really, she was just overstepping, if you know what I mean. So Valentine Low is so desperate to ruin Meghan Markle's image that he will put anything out at this point. And what he doesn't realize is the damage that he's doing to Kate's image. So according to Valentine,
I've seen, and I refuse to believe that it's true. Also, I really hope for Will and Kate's sake that they're not the ones providing this information willingly, because how stupid could they be? So the gist of it is Valentine Low is claiming that the recollections may vary. You know, the one that the Queen infamously said after Harry and Meghan's Oprah interview. Actually, the credit should go to Kate, which first off, I'm calling bullshit. Second off, they're essentially trying to steal Queen Elizabeth's words and give them to Kate. Why? Why? To make her look tougher? To win brownie points? To make sure that their alt-right conservative fan base doesn't get mad that they posted this? However, I need monarchists to understand that the recollections may vary line is not just some sick burn to the Sussexes. It was a response to racism allegations. He already looks like a mean girl. Like, none of this looks good for her. Why would you rob the Queen's words after she's already passed? What good does that do? Not to mention, they constantly say they want to modernize. I don't fucking think they do, because that Recollections May Vary line, it did not go over well with everybody. The only people that truly seemed to like that response were like the Rhoda themselves were royalist. Like, I know Valentine Lowe is like on a tour for his book or whatever. That line was dismissing racism allegations. So much for the monarchy wanting to modernize. This is the
So, as you can see, these two young ladies have a good handle on it. You've heard the first one, you heard the second one. That is the way this is playing. It's not really going well for Kate. So, again, as I said, as they're trying to build Kate up, they're trying to do the which do you choose, Coke or Pepsi? You want the red pill or the blue pill? And while they're doing this, it's really hurting Kate more than anybody else in the family. The family is already not popular around the world. They're not popular around the world. There's not all of these young girls that are pining to be with Kate. You have a handful of girls, mostly in the UK, that think that she's this great princess and such. But then when they're actually at some unscripted event, when they're just taking some kids like off a school bus or whatever, you see the reactions. Their arms are folded, their body language, their facial expressions say otherwise. And these are just students, UK students. They're not interested. It's different when they go out of their way to be with the Cambridges or the Waleses, as opposed to when you take them away from their activities so that you can prance them around the cameras. It's a very different story. So, yeah, sometimes you do get all the positive feedback that you could hope for as a courtier. And then other times it's an embarrassment. And this is happening again and again. And they don't seem to mind taking their chances with the bad photos. And of course, the photos that they share, those are supposed to be the best of the photos, not the worst. Those are supposed to be the best. And those look as though they handpicked the worst. So that lady that they were trying to hire for Kate, they let a good one get away. She may have been able to help. But right now, they're in bad shape. They're in bad shape. I'm not trying to help them by saying that, but it's true. They're really in bad shape, as indicated by these young ladies here. People see right through it. It's performative. And of course, it's another puppet show. That's what it is. It's another puppet show. All of those courtiers that are there to yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, to agree and to tell them what they want to hear, they're hurting them, not helping them. And of course, who's ever pulling the strings for Kate, maybe that's why she's got that awkward thing going on with her neck where her head is always listing to one side. I don't know. But it's not helping. They should stop. And of course, there's a happy woman who lives in California who seems to defy her age. And then there's someone who's a mean girl that is doing these performances, has that strange tick with her hands, has that speech impediment, among other things. She doesn't seem to be doing so well. So if they're going to try to, I guess, steal somebody's personality and persona and try to steal their life and dress people up in their clothes and everything, they got a lot of work to do because they haven't even come close to making Kate this person that the tabloids are building up and slowly tearing down. They're not even close. it would take I don't think an act of parliament could help. Okay, so gonna jump over to this guy again. I'm gonna make a video based on the speech that he gave about slavery. It was very, very interesting. So that's gonna be my project for tonight. So look for that. And what else? Oh, and yeah, so that's it. I'll take a look at a couple of your comments, but other than that, we're done. 2 hours. We are done. Thank you very much. So if you have some last comments, go ahead and share those. And otherwise, if you guys are up too late, please get yourself some sleep. And hopefully we'll be on earlier tomorrow, but please go and get some rest. Go and be with your families. So yeah, we are done. Let me see here. Naomi Maria says, Baron, I would take a brain transplant for Kate. To be even, yeah, I'm sorry. It would take a brain transplant for Kate to be even close to Meghan. Thank you, Andrew Bodie. Appreciate it. Hey, Sherry Ware, I didn't know you were here today. Oh, yes, tomorrow is bill paying day, right? You know, I have to be careful when I say, hey, Sherry, because you know that sets my phone up. Dansby, there you go. There's a super sticker. Thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your persistence, by the way. Brenda Lawler, you're welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Church Nelly. Okay. All right, I'm looking through the comments. Ingrid Sower says, around the world to Baron, my 3 children love Meghan and Harry in the Netherlands. Well, Ingrid Sowers, thank you so much for sharing that. And hello to your 3 children, if they are listening. I'm pretty sure it's like either too late or too early. But thank you so much for sharing that. All right. Andrew Bodie, thank you again for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Oh, yes. If it shows up here, it definitely worked. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Up at 5 a.m. and okay. Right, Diane Hawkins. Recollections don't vary on Disco Dancing Billy and the other women. Disco Dancing Billy, I like that. Oh, Faya. Oh, good. You're off tomorrow. Good for you. Glad to hear that. Hey, Cookies and Cream. Yeah, Cookies and Cream. I just wish they stopped doing that. If they stop, I will have nothing to say about it. But as long as they keep trying to create this contrast, then I feel compelled to speak out about it. It needs to stop. They really need to stop doing that. Find another chew toy. That's what they need to do, is to find another chew toy. Go after Ford Fiesta. There's a comparison right there. Go after Ford Fiesta. Or better yet, just leave people alone. How about that? Just leave people alone. I mean, I know it would impact their profits, but so few people are even bothered with the tabloids as it is, but they're all competing for that ever-shrinking pie. Oh, thank you, Teresa Wiseman. Thank you very much. Oh, Elaine, we're done. We're done. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for staying up late with us. And with that, I guess I will go ahead and read the list and call it a night. Okay, where is my list? I got it here. Oh, okay, there we go. So thank you very much for your generous contributions and your, there we go. Miranda Rios, 10 months membership. And Legs, Andrew Bodie, Joan Garcia upgraded to the silver membership. Thank you so much for that. Cher Brown, YM Droid, Claudia Blanco. Did I miss that? I think I did. Thank you so much. And Mignon Hine Murray, Janet Ambersley, Dansby, and of course, Andrew Bodie again. Thank you all. And I will see you all tomorrow. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And with that, I am going to cue the Ginger Avenger. And of course, thank you to our queens, our queen in heaven, our queen in California. All right. Okay, cue the Ginger Avenger. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned, mute woman.
Take note, Nicola.